So right now for the Nintendo Switch 2, it might not be looking too good, but Nintendo's plan might have just been revealed for all of 2026. Now, this is definitely a big step up from the news that we gotten recently, but if you look at what's to come and what's taking place, we can definitely start to see everything that Nintendo has for us. So with that being said, let's get straight into the video. So, according to the leaks, the rumors, and the information that we've been getting, you can see that Nintendo is supposedly going to be having a Nintendo Direct next week, or should we say the week that is coming. And this is really fantastic in so many different ways, because in this Nintendo Direct is set to share one big, massive game and probably a couple remasters as well. Of course, I'm talking about 3D Mario, and it seems by Nash Weedle that we are going to be seeing a 3D Mario in this week. So this is so fantastic in so many different ways because we haven't seen a 3D Mario all the way back since 2017, which is a crazy thing to be saying. But now seeing a 3D Mario in almost 10 years since the first game, it's really a crazy thing to say that once again. But also, we are going to be seeing something for the 40th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda. May that be a remaster or a remake or just something to do with a brand new game. Now, I'm not saying we are going to be getting the next Legend of Zelda game, but we're probably going to be getting like a little sneak peek, a trailer like we've gotten for Tears of the Kingdom back in 2019. That did make a lot of sense to me that I think Nintendo is going to act upon that and release something like that. But of course, take these rumors and leaks with a grain of salt. Also, it seems like we are going to be getting that one remaster or remake. So the leaks could be true about a brand new Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 4K ground up remake. That could happen, but the more likely scenario, in my opinion, is probably going to be Twilight Princess or some sort of double pack with Twilight Princess in Wind Waker. That does make a lot of sense for that date. But personally, one game that I really want to see is A Link Between Worlds. Now, for some reason, this is a game that I really enjoy. I hope Nintendo acts upon something like this, a remaster, just a re-release of this game. It's essentially where it all started. Now, of course, there was Zelda 1 and Zelda 2, but then there was A Link to the Past. Usually, when I think about The Legend of Zelda or a 2D format, it has to be A Link to the Past. But what's better than A Link to the Past? A Link Between Worlds. So I think that honestly we have a chance of seeing this game. I really hope Nintendo does something with this game because it truly is a hidden gem, or maybe it's not even hidden. It's a good game. Now that we covered Mario, now that we covered Zelda, we're probably going to be getting something else. Now this could be in the form of Kirby. Now I think that Kirby is going to be getting something to do like a remaster or remake this year. Now, if this doesn't happen in the upcoming Nintendo Direct, it's probably going to happen later on in the year for probably a mid-November, October release date. That would make sense to me in my own opinion, but overall, I think that something like this is going to happen. We're also set to get a bunch of different third-party games for the Nintendo Switch 2 in 2026. So I'm not saying that this is going to release immediately, like in the upcoming 2 to 3 months. Probably not, maybe a little bit later, but some of these games are pretty big games, I would have to say. There's some rumors about seeing Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Since we didn't see that in the partner showcase that happened not too long ago, there's a giant possibility of seeing either in the next general Nintendo Direct because they want to share it with the bigger stuff, or they weren't ready yet and they're going to be releasing that a little bit later. Now that makes some great sense because that game was honestly really good, and the developers of that game did mention that they want to put their things on Nintendo platforms, so overall that would be really great. Also, another third-party game that seems to be coming is Call of Duty. Xbox did say that they are going to be bringing Call of Duty over to the Nintendo Switch 2, so keep your high hopes up on that one, and we could probably see other games. My big hopeful for 2026 is Forza Horizon. So far, there's been some rumors about it, but I wouldn't count on it. I wouldn't bang on it because it's not necessarily a big leaker or a more popular leaker. So keep an eye out on that. And overall, I think that this is going to be a pretty big year for Nintendo. The first half is definitely moving a little bit slower than we would have liked, but the second half of the year is probably going to be banger after banger. we are set to get the Pokemon Presents, which is going to share a bunch of different things. Now, the two big things that we're probably going to be seeing in this Pokemon Present is, of course, Pokemon Generation 10 and Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. Now, this is great in so many different ways. You want to see the return of your older Pokemon games, and who knows, maybe we can see all the old Pokemon games in some sort of collection pack. Now, this would be great. We're probably either going to get a shadow drop on that, which is going to release on February 27th, right when the Pokemon Presents ends, or they're going to wait a bit and then release it a little bit later down either the months or the days or whatever it is. They're going to release it a little bit later. I think it's going to be a shadow drop for that one, but if it's a collection, that could be a little bit later. So keep an eye out on that. I think it's going to be great. It also seems like Pokemon Generation 10 is going to be in November or October. That's probably going to be the set date for that generation, which overall, everything that we've been seeing for Generation 10 looks to be really, really good, and it seems like a welcome home on Nintendo Switch 2, because yet again, we don't really have many games for this system. So far, we've gotten Mario Tennis Aces, which is a 70, and pretty much every single Nintendo Switch 2 game is a 70, so you can keep your hands clapping for a 70 if you want to, but I think the big 80 to 90 games are going to be coming very soon. I think that 3D Mario is probably going to be coming and boost the score up to a 90, which is going to be great in so many different ways. And probably later on in the year, we can see other games because it's Metroid's anniversary, it's GameCube's anniversary, Animal Crossing anniversary, Sonic's anniversary, so I'm hoping to see a bunch of different things. Right now, there's been some leaks and rumors about seeing a Metroid Prime 2 and 3 collection. Now, we originally thought here that Nintendo was going to release it on the GameCube, seeing as Nintendo went out of their way to say, you know what, guys? That did not happen. We didn't say a peep, so Walmart was clearly lying. It makes me believe that maybe they didn't have that, or they're making some sort of remastered classic collection for Metroid or something like that. Because if you don't remember, Metroid Prime Remaster scored, I believe, a 97 on Metacritic on how great that game actually was. So maybe Nintendo is going to be remastering 2 and 3 and releasing it on the same sort of pack. That does make sense in my opinion, but overall, I could be completely wrong on how this is. Of course, this is just a leak that we've recently been getting. And also, the GameCube application is set to get more games. Right now, we're chilling with 5 games, I believe, or is it 6 games? But they're not necessarily the most popular games. So hopefully, in 2026, we are going to be getting Mario Kart Double Dash or Super Smash Bros. Melee. But seeing as we don't have Super Smash Bros. On the N64, leaves me questioning and wondering, is Nintendo going to be bringing these games over, or are they doing something? Because we're probably not going to be seeing another Super Smash Bros. Game for the longest time. So if they do either a Switch 2 edition, or re-release the older Smash Bros. Games, I think everyone would be more than happy with that decision. Potential, I think Mario Kart Double Dash is probably going to be coming, because if you look at the N64, we did get Mario Kart. If you look at the NES, we did get Mario Kart. And if you look at the Game Boy Advance, what did we get? We got Mario Kart. So I think Double Dash is probably going to be making this way. Overall, it's going to be really great. I think we're also set to get DLC for Mario Kart World, but of course, this isn't 100% confirmed. Everything essentially isn't 100% confirmed. Besides Generation 10, let's be honest, it's probably going to be here. I mean, it's going to be here because, like, the leaks, it makes too much sense to release Pokemon Generation 10 during this year. So, overall, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think 2026 is going to be a pretty big year for Nintendo? I think it's going to be a big year. Potential chances of brand new Mario Party. Potential chances for, of course, Kirby. Another chance for, like, your smaller Nintendo games, or maybe Nintendo's going to make other brand new game. But there's definitely going to be a lot of remasters. And if you're a person that doesn't like remasters, you just got to think of it. Look at what they've done right now. They've brought out some new games. We got Hyrule Warriors, Kirby Air Riders, we got Metroid Prime 4, and everyone seems to have their set opinion on this. Is this a good game, or is this a super stinker? So you really got to ask yourself that question right now. I think there's going to be at least 3 remasters. I could be wrong about that, but I believe it's set to be about 3 remasters. So maybe get excited over remasters. What would you like to see for upcoming Nintendo Switch 2 things? Let me know in the comment section down below, and thank you so much for watching. Hope that you enjoyed. Consider to hit the like button. I really appreciate it. Maybe the subscribe button as well, and thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.